So today we're going to go to Havis's garage, Busaidi Garage, and Havis is what I call the car whisperer. Now the reason I call him the car whisperer is because during some torrential rains which we get here in the winter, my old A4, which you can see here, was stuck in, I don't know, water up to the wheel arch easily for a good couple of hours. It was a massive problem in Dubai. Lots of people's cars got completely water damaged, and it had a high-pitched whining sound like a dentist drill, but on a more sort of car industrial size level. And it started off small and it got really, really loud, to the point where if you were driving it, people would hear you coming 500 meters away and they would turn around and stop and stare at you go by, because it was just so bad. It got to the point where it was so bad I didn't want to drive anywhere, because it was like that fan belt screech but higher pitched and just always on. It didn't go away. So I went to see the main dealer. They said, we got 2 weeks worth of cars here that are backed up with water damage. I have no idea where the problem is. I have to take the front bumper off, the radiator off, it's going to be about 20,000 dirhams to do it. The car was only 25, so that made no sense whatsoever. And I asked a friend about it, and he said, I take my old Jeep to this guy in Al Quoz. His name is Havis, and he's really good. So I thought I'd go and see this guy. And like all people who think they know a little bit about cars, I phoned him up and told him what I think it was, because I've been reading online and forums. It's probably the best and the worst thing you can do. And he was just nodding politely as I was talking to him, asked me to pop the bonnet, and he said, yeah, I could hear you coming. And then he looked around the engine, then walked over to the back of the garage wall. It's an open air garage, picked up a piece of garden hose pipe, walked back to the car, and to my amazement lowered it right into where all the moving parts are, put it to his ear while smoking a cigarette, and about a minute later went, it's your alternator bearing. Leave it with me and I'll bring it back to you in a couple of days. Okay, I thought this guy's a genius, or you know, he knows something amazing. I got to the office the next day. He called me up, said your car's ready, so it was a day early result. And when I went and picked it up, the car was running absolutely whisper quiet. And when you get so used to noise, it's like toothache, you get used to living with it. And I asked him, so what was it? And he opened the palm of his hand, and there was a small little bearing in there, and he went, it's your alternator bearing. Your alternator was completely submerged, because it's quite a new, in good condition sealed unit. The whole thing didn't need replacing. I said, oh, how much is that? He said 20 dirhams, which is £5. So this guy used a bit of hose pipe to diagnose a tiny little bearing which was causing the whole problem. Whereas when I went to a main dealer garage, they just said, look, we're going to start taking the front bumper off, the radiator off, coolant out, you've had water damage and this, that and the other. So this is Busaidi Garage in the heart of Al Quoz, which is sort of like an industrial area. But anyway, let's go inside. So here is the S5, and we're coming for an oil change. And this may look like a bit of a scrapyard, but these guys are absolute geniuses with what they do. And really, this is, I call them the car whisperers, and that's good to see. And this is the man here, Havis. This is the chief car whisperer. Say hello, Havis.
Hello.
And this is the guy that finds the minutest hair crack of problem in your car and solves the mystery. Anyway, let's go back over here. Simple oil change today, and let's get on with that.
That time I show you this.
Yeah.
You forget.
So you have to take the manifold off.
खोलने के टाइम बताना
It's got to
उसका
come off.
वीडियो बनाने का है हाँ
Havis, the oil filter is in the back of the engine, not underneath.
Oil filter?
Yeah.
Here, no? It's right over here.
the oil filter.
Ah, okay. Normally on every car I've owned, the oil filter has been underneath, you know.
Underneath coming out the up.
Havis, what can we do about the clutch? Do I have to buy a new clutch or can we fix it?
The new clutch.
Yeah, the clutch is slipping. Can we fix it or do we have to buy a new one?
No, we have to buy the new one.
Okay, all right. And you have to take the gearbox out and everything, yeah? Do you need any specialist tool to fix the clutch in?
No, special tool for the Audi, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Tool, special box.
You have to use a press, I'm told, and everything. And you have to use a press or something?
If you want to make a video, go down now.
Yeah? Okay, let's go down. We need a torch, no? It's gonna be really hot. As long as no metal comes in the oil, I'm okay. It's alright, don't worry, I'll wash it. It's coming.
अगर कपड़ा तो देना कासिम भाई एक कपड़ा देना
ये लो.
Whoa. So this is old used oil. It looks really thin. Doesn't look like there's anything bad in it. I'm going to pause this because the phone's getting... You can see that one is so black. But is there any sign of metal damage in this one? Can you turn it? Let's have a look. No, there's no bits of metal in there or anything. That looks okay.
Yeah.
That looks okay, yeah. Alright. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because normally if there's engine damage you see bits of metal in the
There's
filter.
coming metal in the filter, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put the new
Pretty
one in.
good. Yeah.
Oil filter is... Oh man. Oh. Dusty. All needs a good clean. Well, let's get it all mechanically right and then we'll clean it. So, what type of plug is that? Is that a platinum one?
Yeah, it's a platinum.
It's a platinum one, yeah?
Yeah.
What condition is that in?
It's okay, it will be running maybe more 50,000 kilometers.
About another 50,000 kilometers, that's
Yeah.
fine, yeah?
Yeah,
And what is it, NGK? What's the bottom bit say? NGK?
that is the company.
NGK. Has it got a model number on it or a part number?
VWAG.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it's got. Okay, well that's a relief. Just hold that bit still. All right, good. That's a relief. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, that's that. That's Havis's garage. So oil change, new filter, spark plugs are fine. That's all good. Roll on with just using the car now and seeing what comes our way next.